Hello there and welcome to PGL Week 8 as we take on Max Rapture, your coach of the Tasmanian Toxicroaks. I will be deciding the rules myself today, as your New South Wailmers will be looking to make it 6-2 in this league, while Max Rapture I think is 5-2, something like that. Bill Standish and him keep joining one another, so we're going to be playing today. This is a very interesting week for me because I am testing out a lot more new Livecom sort of strats. Question of the day today is, what is your favourite evolution? Mine personally is Umbreon, and the reason I like Umbreon is because of its colour scheme, and I also really like I played a lot of Pokemon at night. So I got a lot of Umbreons as a kid. It's cursed at school being in the middle of the day. It's definitely something that has a niche, and I've always sort of liked it. This week we are playing Max, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Okay, so he is bringing the Scrafty, the Blastoise, the Mega Pinsir, the Ditto, Zapdos, and Mamoswine. We're not bringing rocks this week. Very good reason for that. We are Specs. Greninja. Greninja does have spikes this week. I'm just going to lead with my Greninja. Besides the Zapdos, there's nothing else he can really sort of counter-lead me with. If he does lead the Blastoise, I'll sort of have a rough idea what it is. It might be like a Rindo Berry or something techy. Also, because he didn't bring Steelix this week, my Tapu Koko with being it's another bulky set this week, being the Substitute Dazzling Gleam Toxic Roost, can still land up a lot of his team. If this is not Scarf Mamo, he's going to be punished a lot in the late game. And that's something that I'm really going to look forward to. Also as well, provided I get a sub up on that Ditto, he's going to be really sucked to break my team. The team construct this week was really dependent upon how he brought his lower tier threats, and I do not see many. Zap. Okay. So this is his Zapdos. Let's... I'm going to go out into CRYogonal this turn. I don't really have a reason not to. Unless he's like Electrium Z Wild Charge, my CRYogonal can take really any one hit. Volt Switch, sort of predicted that one to come. I just didn't want to risk my Greninja. It doesn't actually have Ice Beam this week. It does have Dark Pulse. Now, depending upon what he goes into here, which I do believe will be the Mamoswine, I'm just going to Toxic it. I just want to wear down a lot of his team this week. If he does go out into that Scrafty again, it is going to be Toxic. I also do have Dazzling Gleam this week on my Coco, just purely for the for that Scrafty. On top of that as well, I do have a Mega Scizor that can U-turn sort of freely on Scrafty. I do give up a lot of momentum early on. This Zapdos is going to be a massive pain in my side. I have that many answers to it. But on saying that, I do have a Tapu Koko that can wall it offensively really nicely. A very interesting lead by him. I do understand the Zapdos lead, however, I am sort of perplexed by that because I do think while he gets a lot of momentum early doors, depending upon what he goes into here, he may struggle to get that momentum back up. And with a lot of my team knowing that once this Ditto comes in, Big B. Okay, this is a speed tie here. Z Freeze Dry here. It's going to be a speed tie, unless he's adamant, unless he just goes for a quick attack. Who knows? Oh, Nana, what's your name? But yeah, it will become down to a speed tie. We have taken a lot of damage so far early doors. Okay. My curse against Mega Pinsir. Knowing my luck, I'll lose the speed tie here. He'll click return. Absolutely drop my CRYogonal. Frustration, he does win the speed tie. You gotta love that, folks. That Z Freeze Dry would have OHKO'd the Pinsir. Oh, you can't do much, unfortunately. You can't do much. That is so annoying because the CRYogonal walled half his team. I brought a tech specifically for Mega Pinsir. It wins the speed tie. My Vaporeon can live 2 frustrations, but it is going to be hard. I've made this end game about 20 times harder for me because now I don't really have the best quote-unquote Blastoise answers. But I'm going to play this out. But that's so annoying. That speed tie was so crucial to me. I do still have my Greninja for late game, which can really freely spam Dark Pulse in the later stages of this game.
but that does definitely hinder a lot of my game plan because of just not how reliant I quote-unquote was of my CRYogonal, but that would have been a very big exchange there. One big piece of either team's like pie, quote-unquote, was going down there. My Vaporeon now comes in. He knows I love offensive Vaporeon. A lot of the league does, but this week I actually have opted for a more defensive Vaporeon, just purely because of the fact that I don't want to be predictable. That CRYogonal, though, would have been so tasty with that damage. We now know he's max speed. He's very offensive. Mega Pinsir. I didn't bring rocks this week. I didn't really see a reason to. I did think that a couple of the exchange I could have potentially got off were a lot more beneficial, and I'm definitely regretting that now, considering that he has won that speed tie. It is very risky, his play, his frustration. This won't be a two-shot. That does 130 though. Okay, that Ice Beam does a lot. Yeah, this comes down to another 50-50. I'm gonna Ice Beam again. Just because I've lost, like, quote-unquote, two of my best mons this game. This is a 50-50, I protect, I give him a free SD. Oh, he Stealth Rock, sweet. We get the momentum off. By making that play. So we do KO the Mega Pinsir. It really shouldn't have been able to do anything this game, but it is a speed tie. You can't really complain. Even though that's what I've just spent a lot of time doing. My Vaporeon now is getting some health back. Zapdos is going to become a bigger of an issue, especially in the later game, because my team doesn't quite, quote-unquote, have the best answers to Zapdos. So I'm just going to protect this turn. I just don't, like, if he's Electrium Z, he's Electrium Z. But because my Greninja does not have Ice Beam this week, it is going to be hard, but Dark Pulse still does like 60-70%. It just comes down to, again, like, okay, so what do I value here? I'm going to protect with the Vaporeon. Volt Switch. I'm actually going to risk it here. I think I can live in a Volt Switch, so I'm going to Wish. It was definitely a 50-50. I'm just really annoyed because I've lost, like, quote-unquote, my best way to pivot around his team. Come on, live. No. That's so annoying. Also, it's probably Scarf Mammo in the back, so I have just lost, quote-unquote, another one of my best Mamoswine answers this game. Remix. That's Ditto. Doesn't get to switch into anything. Scrafty. Trying to think. I think we go out into Randy here. And then we Toxic for free. If he wants to go out into Mammo, that's fine by me. I do have my Alola Persian still very healthy. If he does go for that Scarf Transform, that's also fine by me. I just go out into my Mega Pinsir, and then I just U-turn the next turn for free. Very interesting play by my opponent here. Max going out into his Ditto. Maybe he thought that he switches out after the death of a Pokemon, but he doesn't. So we are slowly but surely. It's a very fast-paced game. We've lost 2, he's lost 1. We've lost 2 because of playing recklessly, and also as well because of the speed tie. I just want a Toxic here because provided I hit the Toxic on something like Mammo, even Zapdos, like if he switches into Zapdos here, or I think Mammo's more likely, but we just get this Toxic off. This Toxic's very nice. We can then just start parting shotting around. I do want to get a Toxic off on that Zapdos because once that Zapdos does get Toxic, I will be able to start like slowing down this pace of this game. CRYogonal and Tapu Koko this week both were designed to slow down the pace of this game, and unfortunately at this moment we haven't taken that advantage to do so because of various different circumstances, as I've mentioned before in this game. We also know that if this Ditto wants to remix into us, sweet. We're now going to go out into our Mega Scizor. Transform. He's going to see the set now. Yeah, that... It's always bittersweet losing speed types, but especially when you bring something so cool such as CRYogonal. I like CRYogonal, it's funny. Now, we do have this Ditto thing on a timer. I wish I brought rocks. But this next turn, I'll be able to U-turn. If he goes out into the Zapdos, you know, we are going to play some risky games, boys and girls. I could also alternatively defog, however, I don't think there's really much point in me defogging. I think by me getting up my Mega Evolution, it will definitely hurt. His Crafty now knows that. So, like, here's the other thing. If I went for sub, I could be in a much better position. But, because you couldn't be able to switch in, like, copy into my Tapu Koko. But I wanted to Toxic in case he tried to go hard Mamo, but then again, he could also try to U-turn, but he can't. Okay, so sweet. Go into Sizzle now. Dazzling Gleam for the ultimate team. Sweet, let's U-turn here. Whatever he wants to go out into, if it's Zapdos, I will Toxic it. He withdrew the remix here. Nickelodeon. Blastoise, interesting. Very interesting. This could be like Specs or something like that, but that is quite a bulky, Nickelodeon there. So we're going to go into a Persian here and click Knockoff. Persian sort of has like a little bit of a job to do left in this game, but I think he's going to try to be like a Toxic sort of variant of Blastoise. He does like his more defensive sort of sets. I'm just so annoyed. Like, yes, it was probably like futile of me. I knew Mega Pinsir was always going to be a threat, but Mega Pinsir was able to do so much this game because of that one speed type. It took 2 crucial KOs. You know, Blastoise couldn't come in freely now. However, it is annoying, but we're just going to knock off this Nickelodeon. He does like have a preparation for spikes, and we are still sort of struggling for that momentum. The knockoff though, and then parting shot next turn. Let's see what we knock off here. Wakan Berry, Scald. Interesting. I think on a parting shot, I'm gonna get Sizzle back up a little bit. Sizzle, I'm just trying to think, how do I win this game? Actually, or do I go into Garain? See, the issue I've got is as soon as I go into Garain, I lose a lot of momentum. Toxic. Okay, sweet. We got the read here. The question is, do I want to keep up momentum? Yes, I do. I definitely do. If he tries to go out here into his... Okay, sweet. What is he going into? A remix? Zap Zap. We only have one play here. Go out into our Koko. And we're just going to sub up on this Zapdos. If he tries to go out into a remix, he is forced then to Gleam. And also at the same time, we are slowly losing Mons and momentum, but... What do you want us to do, really? The Scrafty's going to be a pain. The Mamoswine's going to be a pain. Sub. Did he just Volt Switch this turn? Volt Switch. That shouldn't break, hopefully. We are so fat. Ugh, that's so annoying. That must be a little bit of offense. But I'm so surprised he would let his Zapdos get Toxiced. That's what I can't get over. Extinction. That is his Mamoswine. I'm so mad I didn't make my Coco bulkier. That could be Spec Zapdos, so Earthquake. That's gonna do a fair chunk, I think. 79, yeah, that's 57. If it's not Scarf, I'll be very surprised, but I've got a very good feeling it is. So he made a very good play, the Zapdos, with the Volt Switch. But we are paying, you know, we're slowly paying the price for a speed type. But, you know, I made a stupid play. I tried to sub on the Zapdos. I'm gonna Roost here. If he does go for EQ, I will take a little bit, but I am max Fizz-Def. And then he's gonna freely go into Zapdos and Volt Switch again. And then that's gonna be pretty much game, because I can't continuously keep up this loop. That speed time, man. It was such a little thing, but if it went the other way, he has no rocks this whole game, he loses a good mon. I still have a Levitator, I still have, you know, a EQ answer. Remix. Okay, so he's trying to skate out my set. That Toxic is like little bit by little bit helping. I think I'm gonna have to get to the stage where I just bring in my Gren and just start Specs Dark Pulsing. Because I can't really do anything else. If I had Rocks up. If I had anything up. Remix goes for U-turn. I go for U-turn. You know, also because of the way that this is situating, like, what to do? I've like got a rough idea in the back of my head of what I have to do. I have to get him into a stage where the Mamu comes in, Gren goes for the Specs Water Shuriken, and this is Nickelodeon. I'm just trying to think. If a Spike, how much will a Spike help? Won't help that much, actually, now that I think about it. But how much will a Specs Dark Pulse help? I think it'll help a lot, actually. Just because I don't want to allow him to get into a position that's crafty. So we're going to make a double here. If he has Aura Sphere, he'll stay in and click it. If he tries to be cheeky, go into the Scrafty, I do go down into my Scrafty for free, and I can click Dazzling Gleam. But as I said before, I just need to start clicking Specs, you know, like get Gren into a position. Oh, Earthquake. That's dead. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Very interesting play by my opponent there. 36 goes into 174. 36, 72. I'm gonna Roost here. The EQ. Oh, he's got Aqua Jet. Sugar. That's game. That is game, my friends. Because now I can't lock myself into one singular move. So it's Toxic Scald, Aquajet, Earthquake. Yeah, that's a pretty cool set. Gotta give my opponents props for that. He must have saw that the double was very obvious, but props to him for that. I'm gonna go for Defog here. I just want to get rid of away his rocks. Scald. We're gonna make this a fun game, and we ain't going down without a fight. Gonna go for Defog as I get burned. There's nothing going right for me, man. If I Toxic the Zapdos. I'm gonna Roost here. 65. Ooh, 58. We're gonna Roost again. Next time we're gonna make the switch hard down into ground. Not having Ice Beam, it really did hurt me this game. Oh, fuck. 58. Like, that first burn really just sucks. Like, you know, like, oh, like, fair play to Max. Like, he won the speed tie, you know. My hope here is he tries to be cheeky, goes for volts like Thunderbolt. But yeah, it's going to be a massive loss because Crow gets. It's going to sound salty, but it is. If he heat waves here, I lose my Scissor. If he doesn't, he T-bolts. Yeah, that's like specs. I'm on ground. Do your thing, boy. Who that boy? Flinch, maybe? Oh my goodness, that Zapdos. How lucky, lucky, lucky players. I knew he was going to make the double. That's spec Zapdos. Well, that's a very offensive Zapdos. If I had rocks up. Okay, so we do make it a 4-2. We'll just go around to Blastoise here, though. I knew what I had to do. Like, I knew I had to get into a position where... But, like, what do you really want me to do? I thought I built a pretty solid team. Ooh, that boy. Losing that speed die sucks. So we lose 4-0. But until next week,